views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect the views of BronxNet or the program underwriters.
Hey, how are you, everybody? Welcome back. I'm the Doc Bob Lee. Welcome to Open BXRX. We have another fantastic show lined up for you. You do not want to miss it. Coming up on today's show, we'll hook you up like we owe you something. We'll hear from the founder of an organization who will speak about the launch of an upcoming NYC event. Then we'll speak to the co-founder of a new product that has been developed to help people better protect themselves during the pandemic and beyond. After that, we'll sit down with a young, rising international star to learn about her journey in the world of music and acting. Then my man, Bobby C., he's up at bat, and he has the latest in the world of sports. And then finally, we'll learn about how an afternoon of fun on the baseball diamond has inspired unity between law enforcement and young women in our community. All of this and more, all coming your way. So kick off your shoes and relax your feet. We've got it going on for you. We're open. Everybody, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. I'm your host, Dr. Bob Lee, and you're watching Open. It's that live interactive program that brings the Bronx to New York City straight to your TV set. We bring the community to you, and it's a beautiful thing. Stay connected to us through social media at BronxNet TV. Leading things off, our first guests are co-founders. It's a husband and wife team, but we're going to talk to James today, and they have something called SIP. NYC. It's a beautiful thing. Yeah. SIP NYC. And they're here today to speak about the launch of their first all-Black owned wine and spirit tasting event in New York City. So please welcome James Frazier. James, how are you?
Hey, I'm great. Thanks for having me. Thanks for the warm introduction. Great team.
Are you sipping this morning?
I am.
Anyway, tell us all about you.
A little bit.
Tell us all about your business. How did it happen? Where did you get the name from and all of that?
First of all, I'm going to say, I have to say this, it's an honor to be interviewed by Bob Lee. I've been watching you and Fine for years. Back in the day, when I was party hard, this place called Bentley's that I used to rock out with. And you used to do live recording, and we used to go in the booth, and you was like, don't curse, don't curse. We was like, we got you. So I just want to let you know, I was there back in the days on Bentley's and everything. But yeah, the SIP NYC, it started in February of 2020. We were supposed to launch in June last year, but because of COVID, we pushed it this year.
Yeah.
Reason why we started to form it because we saw a lot of disparities and a lot of marketing is not really, they market to us with other big brands, but no big company is marketing, Black owned, Black, brown and owned brands on a major level. And so we have a platform. I've been doing events over 20 years, me and my wife over 12 years. So we decided to say, let's use our platform to help promote, market, and brand awareness of these Black and brown brands.
Absolutely. And the reason why I said don't curse, because I think that was the thing to do at that time. I want to say hello to my...
We didn't know. We used to rock out.
But I had a switch on the mic. And at one time, that switch didn't work. So I had to go back to the radio station and really hear about it. You let them curse on the radio? But anyway, that was back in the day. A little something, something.
Yes.
What services do you offer? You came a long way, my brother, hanging out, at Bentley's, live broadcasts over the air. Tell us about some of the services that you have through SIP NYC.
Yeah. So right now, we're going to be doing some marketing, meaning that we have several events lined up. So a lot of our clients that they're going to get in line with those different events. We're going to do art. We're going to do pair it with networking. We're going to pair it with real estate, and also basically different distributors and people that own wine bars and etc. We know these guys personally throughout the year, so we actually they coming to the 12th, to see what's going on. So we using our resource throughout the years to help market them through those personal relationships. So that's just one aspect that we're going to be doing with that.
Speaking of relationships, your wonderful wife is your partner.
Yeah.
How did
Joy
you guys
Frazier.
come together and say, hey, this is what we need to do?
She pretty much, said we're gonna do this. For me, it was seeing a lot of the brands in my network events would bring their brands to the event, and then I said you can't just walk in with that. You got to, we got to get this with the owner. So constantly they said, James, we got to do something. So my wife was like, you know what, let's do something. So I said, you know what, maybe we can do a little research, and we actually saw it's a big market for it. So then me and my wife decided, you know what, let's do this together. First time we ever did something on paper together. She's also an entrepreneur, and I'm an entrepreneur also, but this is the first time we did it together. So it's one of those things that we felt that was necessary. So it was a good marriage.
So this is the first time you and your wife got together and put something on paper.
Yes, it's the first time. I've been doing networking events and party promotion. She have her own foundation, not-for-profit, dealing with young ladies, and also her own company dealing with accounting. But this is the first time on paper that, we formed the company. So it was a little nerve-wracking at first, and then I had to do a lot of prayer, but I made the right decision. We made the right decision. So we're excited, super excited.
Hey, you feel good about it? You feel passionate about it?
Oh yeah, very passionate. Yeah, and she's very passionate too. Because before she'll hold me down with the networking things, and that's mostly with me. She'll hold me down, but it was like, okay, when we leaving. But now she's like, every day she's waking up, fired up. So I'm like, okay, this is good.
Oh, you're eating it, sleeping it, breathing it. It's a beautiful thing. That's how it works, though. That's how you do it.
Yes, it's the first. It's the first.
So James, tell us, speak about the launch of the first Black-owned wine and spirits tasting event in New York City. Where is it going to be? Tell us all about it, because I may want to. I may want to head on down.
You might want to come. So it's going down Saturday, June 12th. It's Fun City, Brooklyn, a place called Amarachi. That's at Amarachi. It's at 189 Bridge Street, and just a little geography. It's under the Manhattan Bridge on the Brooklyn side. So it's on the other side.
I know exactly where it is.
Yeah. And so the beautiful thing about it, we have two rooms. A lot of people don't know they had a back room. So we transforming that room to vendors. And then we have an awesome outdoor space to hold another 50 people. So we have 3 areas that everybody can comfortably social distance. So you come in, you're going to have some tasters. You're going to have a signature glass that says The Sip NYC. You get the sip and taste over 10 different vendors, whether it's whiskey, wine, vodka. We also have a vegan wine, that's coming all the way from Indianapolis. These people come all the way from Indianapolis. They have a vegan line of wine, 7 different brands. They're coming. We have a non-alcoholic brand called Caribbean Hibiscus. And those who like the libations when it comes to smoking, we have a cigar company that's going to be in the front too. So we have a lot of things going on. And then you also can eat. They have great cuisine. It's African American, African, and Caribbean at the same time. It's always consistent. And we have all that going on, music and everything. So it's a lot of fun.
I was gonna ask you about those cigars. I was gonna say, hey, is there a Joy and James Frazier cigar?
No. Brooklyn Smokes, big up Brooklyn Smokes. They've been around over a decade. They have 3 hand rolled cigars. These guys is great. They are very professional. I'm not a smoker, but I go to those events and just pose up with it, But there you go. But those who want to come, they're going to be there, and we have some guest speakers going to be there. We have some DJs that's going to be there. Big up DJ Don and DJ Kid New from the Bronx, talking New York. So it's going to be a lot of fun, Bob Lee. You and your team should go there because, like I said, let me know what you want. I give you guys a bottle.
All right, you just have to invite us. That's all.
The invite is right now. You're
there you go. It's on tape.
Yeah. Yes.
Thank you so much. What brands? What are some of the other brands again? You named a few of them. The brands affiliated with the event.
Great. So we got Esprever sparkling wine. They have a nice sparkling wine and have Moscato. We have a red wine by sipandshares.com. That's the vegan wine. My vodka drinkers, we have Plus Vodka. They have a nice plum, award-winning vodka, 8 times distilled. We got Den of Thieves whiskey. They have 3 different whiskeys, awesome taste. And also we have my brothers from South Africa, Ladysmith. It's a cognac, and their stuff is premium, 8 years brewed. And go to the site, thesipnyc.com. You get the whole lineup. I gave you 6, so it's about 4 more to go.
Yeah, that sounds good to me.
Yeah.
That sounds really good. All right.
Yeah.
So
and it's premium.
We should take a cab there.
Yeah. And that's another thing. The Uber's gonna be lined up. We're in partnership with a lot of taxis around there and everything. So we ready for it.
Yeah.
Come out. We ready. Grown and sexy.
And the proceeds, is it going to anything special?
Thanks for reminding me. Oh yeah. So a portion of the proceeds would benefit an organization called the Bonillo Foundation. It's a 501c3. C3, right? Yeah.
Yes.
And basically they have something called Feed Brooklyn. So they started about 9 months ago. Each week they feed over 400 families in Eastern New York, Brooklyn. I went there and volunteered several times, me and my wife, and we said, you know what, it's time to, we make sure that we give it to the right organization. So we're really proud about that. So a portion of the proceeds, whether it's buying the t-shirts or the ticket price, it will go to the foundation. So you guys come out and support.
That's good, because you get by giving. It's one of the paradoxes of life. Yeah,
always.
You get by giving. If you're doing pretty good, you want to give it back, because it comes back around. It's a circle of love.
All day.
Yeah. Now, where can people go? Can they go online and maybe if they can't make it down, they can maybe send a donation or be a part of it some way, or maybe they can purchase something.
Yes, thanks for asking.
One of the t-shirts, or maybe one of the drinks.
Exactly. Everything is on the website. So it's www.thesipnyc.com. You have all the information. We contact people 24 to 48 hours. If you email us, I contact everybody back. If you don't see information there, you can call me directly. My information is there, guaranteed.
James Frazier with Joy. Can't have James without Joy.
Yes.
Joy and James Frazier, SIP NYC. Go to that website and check it out, all right? The SIP NYC, what? The SIPNYC.com.
Yeah, you got it.
There you go.
You got it.
Right. Thank you very much. I got
my
SIP going on right here.
Okay.
I don't know if I can you think I can do it?
There you go. It's a sip.
It's a sip. Thank you so much, man. And you're always welcome back.
Blessings. I appreciate it.
Appreciate it. And we'll see you there.
Yes, sir.
All right. We'll take a break. I've got more coming up next. We're wide open. Here we go.
Thank you.
We'll take a break. I've got more coming up next. We're wide open. Here we go. Welcome back, everybody. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee, and our next guests are doctors. We have an interventional cardiologist, an internist, and they are here to highlight the health benefits of their latest co-developed product, Master Vitamins. Say it again, Master Vitamins. You ought to keep that in your mind, Master Vitamins. It's a good one to pick up. I'll tell you why in a little bit. Please welcome to the show, Dr. Mark East and Dr. Lambert Parker. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Good morning.
And Dr. Lambert Parker, I forgot to mention that you're an internist and president of the Integrative Medical Practice, right?
Correct.
Yeah. So how did you guys come together? What was the thought behind this whole thing? Because behind every great thing, there's a thought process and some gathering of information and the finding out that there's a need to create an awareness that the people need this particular supplement.
So, first, again, thank you, Dr. Bob Lee, and Stephen and your team there at Bronx TV. It's really an honor for you to have us. And I'm also honored to have as our guest, Dr. Parker, someone I highly esteem and respect. And it's equally an honor for us to be able to speak to New York as well as the rest of the country about this important topic. But I'm Dr. Mark East. I'm an interventional cardiologist. my background is that of a clinician as well as a clinical scientist. I trained at Duke Medical Center and spent 8 years there, both clinically and also focusing on clinical research.
Yeah.
But what really brought us to this point was really a long-standing relationship with Dr. Parker, knowing his background, knowing his expertise. And when the pandemic hit, there were very few resources therapeutically. And we learned during this time frame that many of us treating physicians were not prepared. We were told to start taking C, D, zinc, and there were worldwide shortages. You couldn't get it to people. And it forced us to investigate outside of the traditional norms. And I simply made a call to Dr. Parker and said, hey, tell me more about this. These are desperate times. We need to know, is there validity? And his resounding response was, yes. The individuals that developed the protocols for us in our local healthcare center here, which is one of the top 50 in the country, that individual was promoting 5 different supplements for us to take. Dr. Parker, without knowing what was on that list, listed 4 of the 5. So I knew that there was something here that was important, and we knew each other. I've respected him for years, and it didn't take much for us to jump in, because the same people that we saw that were dying, the same people that were at risk, were the ones that were sitting across from me in these rooms.
Dr. Parker, what's in it that helps people, in their everyday life?
Well, like what Dr. E said, the pandemic really changed the paradigm of our thinking. All of a sudden, the huge mainstream machinery, which is exceptional, obviously, in this particular case, was not able to help us, which was really a big disappointment, and we were all thrown into chaos. This is where we knew some of the basic things which came out very early on, that vitamin D deficiency played a big part. There was a higher mortality among patients with low vitamin D, which hit a lot of the darker skinned people. And so that was an easy one we identified. But then when that happened, I was talking with Dr. East, and at that time he wanted vitamin D. He was having a hard time getting them. And we had some stock in the office, so we shared it with him for his church. That's how he started out. He was worried about the colored people in his church who are having vitamin D deficiency. And the easiest thing was just check the levels. And when you check the levels, you found a lot of the people in the 20s, but the norm should be around 35 to 100, or some labs is 35 to 150. And 20s are really pretty bad. And when you look at vitamin D, it plays a part in so many things, everything from your immunity to DNA synthesis, to anti-cancer, cell division, cell growth, all these things. But the scary part is most of us in, I would say, mainstream or allopathic medicine very rarely even check the levels. And here was a pandemic where a simple thing, vitamin D, wouldn't solve the problem. But we did know that people with low vitamin D suffered and died from the pandemic, from COVID-19. So that's how we started. And then Dr. East wanted to know what all we should give his patients who couldn't afford all the a lot of the pills are very expensive. And there were too many pills to take, especially the older generation. And the data shows that people over the age of 65, or over 90% of them die from COVID. It's not all age groups. So those were the groups that are hardest hit with money able to access it. And so we started with vitamin D. Then with the vitamin D, we decided what else do older people have? Older people who are at risk also have problem absorbing vitamins. And one of the bigger deficiencies we see is B12. And
B12.
B12. And B12 is needed for DNA synthesis, for energy metabolism, for hormonal metabolism, for brain function. And as we get older, all our brains slow down. And a simple thing like B12 deficiency is so easy to take care of. So we added the B12. So what we really did was we looked at the lab database in my patients over 30 years. What are the common deficiencies we see? not the abnormal, not the zebras, but the horses. And so we took that. And then the last one is, I think, with the folate. Folate is called vitamin B9, which is responsible for DNA synthesis, cell growth and repair, and in cardiac functions, something called removing garbage from your body, which is homocysteine, which builds up. When the homocysteine builds up high, it causes heart problems, all kinds of heart problems, dementia. I think of it as homocysteine as anything you eat, you produce a garbage which looks like a razor blade. So when it goes to the circulation, it cuts into the vessels. So we want to get that down. Usually it should be below 10 or 15, depending upon your labs. Some people have 27. So folate was another thing. So we put all these, what we thought was essential. It's not the only ones, obviously. There's a lot of things we need. But what's the most common denominator, which was missing in the population? And we decided to put together. And really, I just advised him on this. The rest was all Dr. East and his group did all the lion's share of work of actually making it happen.
Yeah, because you mentioned how can older people absorb this? Because you got the water soluble and the fat soluble vitamins mixing in together, and then you have something in it that will flush the body, flush some of the toxins out of the body. I think that's a great product. That you got it working together at a time of need too.
Right.
So this is during the pandemic and beyond.
Right. The one other thing we added to it was lipoic acid, alpha lipoic acid, which is a very powerful antioxidant. And we see so much oxidative stress on our body. So we decided we'd add that to it. And also, alpha lipoic acid is kind of like a magic molecule. It regenerates like vitamin C when you take it. When you have a lot of oxidative stress, the vitamin C, which is an antioxidant, becomes pro-oxidant. So what happens is alpha-lipoic acid actually regenerates it. So it keeps the vitamin C in the body longer period of time. It also helps create glutathione, which is a very powerful ubiquitous antioxidant in the body. So you have a lot of other things. So by putting all these things together, we thought we would get one pill which is cheap and doesn't do everything. It is not a magic pill, but it at least takes care of some essential missing ingredients which we need in life to fight off the pandemic and to have a better lifestyle.
Dr. East, my daughter told me that there were these fantastic doctors that I should interview on radio and TV, and I need to know more about them. So she introduced me to you guys, and I'm glad you guys came because you're a wealth of information. What should people do as far as getting their health together? You have the multiple vitamin, but what should they do to get themselves together? Should they work out? Should they drink water? Should they exercise every day?
I think especially the older population, sleep is very important. Sleep hygiene. Not watching TV before you go into bed, not eating stuff before you go to bed, maybe going for a walk or doing some stretches. And I'll turn it over to Dr. East. He can add more what's good for your cardiac functions.
Doctor, tell us about what's good for that, and where can people go to get more information on this wonderful vitamin and master vitamins?
Well, absolutely. Again, my goal is to make sure that people understand the importance of this. We went into the pandemic unaware and unprepared, both as physicians and our patients.
Very true.
But we don't have to come out that way. We encourage people, be proactive, get in the know, and that's part of this is making people aware and take action. We have a product. It's not the only product. It's not going to treat, cure, prevent, but it's to help your body get what it needs to do what it needs to do. And that's to fight off viruses and bacteria that we're exposed to every day. Now, in terms of where to get it, go directly to mastervitamins.com. Our fulfillment center is very responsive. They'll get it right out to you. Take advantage of some of the promotional opportunities that are there. We want to get this into as many hands as possible to get people as prepared as possible. And lastly, as we said before, this to me is so important. The statistics bear witness of it. 40% of all Americans, as Dr. Parker was talking about, are D deficient. And that's just one of them. 70% of Latino Americans and 80% of African Americans. So that's double. If you look at those who've been affected the most, Blacks have about double the risk of death. from COVID-19. Those are the statistics. And as a statistics guy, I think it's important that we embrace all of these modalities to help as many people as we can.
Yeah, we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. It's a wealth of information. You guys got to come back again. You're always welcome to come back here and just let us know what's going on. And I got to pick up some of those multiple vitamins because I'm into it. You got me into it now. So we go to mastervitamins.com, right?
That's right.
Mastervitamins.com. Thank you guys so much. Dr. Mark East, MD, Interventional Cardiologist and President of East Cardiovascular Specialist, and Dr. Lambert Parker, MD, Internist, President of the Integrative Medical Practice. And I see you have the Integrative Longevity Institute also. Thank you guys so much. We appreciate you. We love you. And God bless you. And tell Shakira
Pleasure.
I said
Take
hello
care.
and give her a big virtual hug for me.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
All right. Coming up next, stay tuned. You don't want to miss it. We've got a whole lot more coming up next on Open.
We built a media network for you.
BronxNet TV.
Come learn in your new state-of-the-art studios at Lehman College.
At Mercy College.
And coming soon to the South Bronx in the Hub.
Inspire with your stories, culture, history.
Your Bronx on BronxNet.
Engage with us.
Connect with us at your channels and at bronxnet.tv.
Learn, engage, inspire. BronxNet TV.
From the Bronx
to the world.
BronxNet.
Welcome of the Doc Bob Lee. Welcome back. Our next guest, our vocal sensation and a rising star coming all the way from Kazakhstan. And she's joined by another international singer, songwriter, and actor. And they join us today to speak about another music career that this young lady is having. And she's doing a fantastic job wherever she goes. And we're going to talk about what inspired her to become a musician. So please welcome to the show, Alina Sansyzbay and Diaz Musaleva.
Hey, Dr. Bob.
Hi, Dr. Bob. Thank you
welcome
for
to the show.
having me on your show.
Yes. What time is it out there?
Well, it depends where. I'm in Kazakhstan right now, and Almaty is almost 11 o'clock at night. And Alina, she's in Moscow currently, and I believe Alina, it's what, 7:30 p.m., something like that. Yeah.
Wow. So we got a bunch of time differences here, but that doesn't matter. We can do everything that we need to do from around the world. Tell us about this wonderful music career that you're in.
Well, my name is Alina Sansyzbay. I'm 13 and I'm a singer. I was born in Almaty, Kazakhstan. Currently, I live and study in Moscow. Since my childhood, I always loved arts, painting, dancing, playing with clay. And I studied vocals with a teacher. My mother created an Instagram page for me and started posting videos where I sang, danced, also videos from various vocal competitions that took place in our city. People watched, commented.
That's great. So wait a minute. You speak English very well. How many languages do you speak?
2, Russian
languages.
and English.
All right. So tell us what you do in Russian, briefly, though.
Я люблю мир, which means I love peace.
There you go. Diaz, I tell you, you come up with you get together with a lot of fantastic artists. How did you find her?
Well, I'm telling you, we have a lot of great and talented young prodigies from Kazakhstan and our countries. So me and my team, Bulyab Foundation with Andre da Costa and Sandra da Costa, we together team up to actually look for such talented young prodigies. Yes. And that's what we do. We try to help, we try to support and connect the bridge between, somehow divided world, maybe at some time.
Yeah. Alina, you're 13, but when did you decide that you wanted to become a star?
I always loved the arts. And I like music since I've been 4 years old.
And you participated in shows from all over the place. Diaz, you were involved in TV shows also?
Definitely. Alina, actually, she has a broad experience participating in big TV shows, and some of them Alina is going to share with you. Alina, what's your favorite TV show and which ones you participated in?
Oh, I want to tell you a story about my life. When I was 7, the producer from Voice Kids Ukraine wrote to me on Instagram and invited me to audition. I went there with my grandmother and I was immediately accepted into the show. Then I reached the final. I was the youngest participant there. The project ended in summer, and in the fall, I was invited to audition for Voice Kids Russia. I also passed it successfully, took 3rd place. I was 8 years old. In 2020, I took part in TV show Sinya Ptitsa, which means Bluebird. Yeah. We performed a duet with my brother. He played the piano and I sang.
Oh, all right.
Yes.
So we have to get an opportunity to see you guys sing. Do we have to come to Ukraine, or where do we have to come to? Diaz, I heard you had the great food out there and everything is organic, even at McDonald's.
Absolutely, Bob. I'm sure if you ever come to Kazakhstan or Russia, you'll hear more about Alina and see her perform. And about the food, yes, everything is great here. And as I said before, that there is no such word as organic, at least for now.
Everything's organic, right?
Everything got organic. I don't know how long it's gonna be, but that's the situation.
Alina, are you coming to America soon? What are your plans for the future?
Yes, I will, because I hope that someday it will happen.
How much time do you devote to singing, Alina?
Every day.
Every day. You got to do it every day. You dream about it when you go to sleep, and you wake up in the morning singing, right?
Yes, I constantly listen to music. Music is my life.
Yeah.
We actually have a little bit of a snippet Alina prepared for you guys with her brother accompanying. So if you guys would like to check it out, Alina would like to sing something.
They're gonna wrap me up. Go ahead. Let me hear that snippet. Ready?
Alina, you ready?
2,
I'm
One,
ready.
2, 3, 4.
It's ending. David, it's you. Lately, I find you're out of my arms and out of my mind. Ooh, la la la, take that to midnight, midnight, and let the angels sing and tell them at the end that I'll never say that sound. But on the night comes around, why from midnight it comes around. I it comes around, what on the night comes around.
Alina Sansyzbay. Alina Sansyzbay. Yeah. Woo. That was
Thank you.
great. I heard the scatting and everything in there. What? Diaz, that was great. Thank you guys so much. Where can we go to get more information? You have a website that we can go to? We can check it out all the way from America?
Definitely. Alina has her Instagram page, which is as her name, Alina Sansyzbay, official, right, Alina? Am I correct?
Yes.
What's your Instagram page?
Alina Sansyzbay, yeah.
Alina Sansyzbay, yes. And the same would be for her YouTube page. So it's easy to find her. Definitely.
Well, thank you guys so much. Alina and Diaz, we appreciate you, and you're always welcome back, right?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.
Dr.
Thank
Bob, guys, thank you for having us, and we look forward to meeting you guys.
You got it.
Thank
all right.
you.
Well done. Woo! Bravo!
Okay.
All the way from America. All right. Bobby C has the latest in the world of sports coming up next.
When taking public transportation, don't touch your phone. Carry hand sanitizer and use it immediately upon leaving the bus or train. Avoid touching your face. If someone is coughing or sneezing, move away. Wash your hands with soap and water as soon as possible. Limit contact with poles. If possible, avoid rush hour. Don't eat or drink on public transportation. Keep your bag off the floor or other surfaces. Avoid directly touching turnstiles. Stay up to date with the latest from your local health department and CDC.
Last week on the show, we got a chance to talk with former New York Mets pitcher Pete Harnisch, a 1991 Major League Baseball All-Star, and one of the greatest pitchers in Fordham baseball history. Here's part 2 of that interview. So you finish your career with a brief stint in Milwaukee, 4 memorable seasons in Cincinnati, end up playing with guys like Ken Griffey Jr. and now Yankee manager Aaron Boone. Rumor has it that Boone still plays in your fantasy football league. I was curious how good of a fantasy football player Aaron Boone is.
Actually, I feel like you might have talked to him and set this whole thing up. They actually won the championship last year, which kind of made everybody sick because if you know Boone, and Boone's a great guy, first of all. All this is in jest, but he loves to talk trash, and he's usually not great at fantasy football, and I still believe he has a partner, a silent partner that we've actually never met. But it's a funny league. We started the league in '98, and we're still going. And there's two sides. It is unbelievable. It's Denny Nagel, Greg Vaughn, Hal Morris, Steve Avery, all these guys that I played with. And they're all Booney. Sean Casey's in the league. It's awesome, man. It gives us, I don't talk to these guys basically from February or middle of January till August, and then all of a sudden they hit me with the text, when's the draft, what are we doing? And these guys, like, they're all retired baseball players, I guess, with basically nothing else to do, which is kind of sad in a way, but they use that sadness and they turn it into a pod. They love this league is like what everybody's about. We love to compete. There's a few dollars on the line, obviously, but yeah, Booney won last year, and that kind of made everybody want to throw up, but he did win.
No, all these years of covering major league games, one of the best conversations I've ever had with a baseball player was actually Mark Teixeira. We were standing there getting ready to interview him, and he had a fantasy football magazine in his locker room, in his locker space.
Yeah.
And I asked him, I was like, do you play? And he was like, do I play? I'm in so many leagues. We started talking about fantasy football, and ended up being a fun conversation.
Yeah, it's really turned into it. We started. Well, I did it with the Mets. When I was with the Mets had a league. So I was in that league or whatever. But then when I went to the Reds, I started the league. So I've been I'm a commissioner of 2 leagues for 20, this will be our 24th season. And when we started, I was getting the USA Today on Monday mornings and doing all the scoring, on a pad, and then telling everybody who won, putting the scores out there and everything. And it was pretty interesting. Come a long way with the lifetime scoring and everything now. So everybody keeps up with it. But yeah, it is a lot of sharp guys, there's nobody in the league that doesn't know. Everybody knows what they're doing. Our rules don't change. We have it's not like one guy dominates all the time, although Matt Clement, the old pitcher from the Pirates and the Rockies, is very, very good. He knows his stuff. He's always in the hunt. But yeah, it seems like a different winner every year. And fantasy football is awesome, man. We love it.
So Pete, up against it in terms of time, want to play a little quick speed round of questions here. When you were playing on the road in the majors, favorite city, and was there a place in that city, let's say a bar or a restaurant, that you would always frequent when you were there?
Whew, that's a tough one, man. I really like Chicago and Boston were my 2 favorites, probably. I was in Chicago more being in the National League. I played in the National League for a bunch of years, so I didn't get to Boston for a pretty good chunk of it. Boston's probably my favorite overall city, but my favorite time for an event was fly into Chicago after a day game, get in there maybe 7, 8 o'clock at night, bus from the airport to the hotel, land at the hotel. You tell everybody, all right, 20 minutes, drop your bags, get down in the lobby. All the young guys had to be there. I was a veteran at the time. All the young guys I was always the organizer or whatever. We go to Gino's East. I don't know if you've ever been to Gino's East in Chicago, deep dish pizza place. It's hole in the wall dump. You walk in there, there's people right on the walls. You're supposed to sign the walls. You etch your name in the wall, whatever. It's like a dump. The deep dish pizza is unbelievable. And we'd be 16 of us, 15, 16 of us at a big long table, just pitchers of beer and a bunch of deep dish pies and a lot of laughs, and really great for the team.
Sounds like a great memory, Pete.
Yeah.
So speaking of great memories, 3 favorite teammates from your Major League Baseball career.
Oh man, it's really tough.
That's why I gave you 3 instead of 1. I figured it'd be.
Yeah, 3. I could give you 20 names. I enjoyed my teammates so much, man. We had so much fun. Casey Candel's got to be up there. The utility infielder, played with the Expos and played with me in Houston. Sean Casey is definitely up there. Danny Graves comes to mind. Jeff Bagwell is one of my favorite people on the planet. Jeff is just an unbelievable, obviously Hall of Fame player, but a Hall of Fame person. Casey Candel, one of the funniest people I've ever met in my life. Sean Casey, awesome. I know it's too many, but I could go on and on. But those are some of the ones that just come to mind because Todd Hundley, John Franco. I mean, every team. I could give you 4 or 5 from every. Eduardo Alfonso, one of the best people on the planet. So I'm sorry to ramble on, but there's so many people that touched my career and my life that I really, really enjoyed. Getting dressed next to every day. That sounded weird. It's
wonderful memories, Pete. I think those are some teams and some great teams, and like I said, just a different era for baseball. Final question for us: which hitter gave you the hardest time in the show?
There was a few that come to mind. Tony Gwynn was a real pain in the rear end. Super guy. What a shame he passed away. Great person. Unbelievable player, unbelievable hitter. If he needed to hit a home run, he didn't hit many home runs, but if it was a situation where he needed to hit a home run, he'd hit a home run. He was unbelievable. Wade Boggs, for the limited time I pitched against the Red Sox before I went to the National League. But Barry Bonds was probably the guy for me. I think he's think he might have 5 or 6 or 7 home runs lifetime off me, which, you know, was only 1% of his home runs, but he was just such an unbelievable offensive force. Not a real popular guy. Players didn't love him, but what a player. Best player I ever saw by a wide margin in my estimation. And I played with some great players. I mean, I played with Ken Griffey. I played with Jeff Bagwell. I played with Craig Biggio. I played with Barry Larkin. I played with a bunch of Hall of Famers. Barry Bonds is the best player I ever saw.
Yeah, I had lunch once with Jimmy Key, and he only got to pitch against him a couple of times, but he said how tough it was to face Barry Bonds.
You know, the umpires, he crowded the plate. You see, he choked up. If you look at it, he choked way up on the bat, which nobody really realizes. But he choked up so he could get right on top of the plate, take away the inside. He'd keep that ball in the inside corner fair. The umpires never called it. So if it was a hair inside, they wouldn't call it. You had to pitch him in. You pitch him out over the plate, he just wore you out. His barrel went right to the outer edge. He waited long. He recognized pitches out of hand better than anyone I've ever seen. Just you know, again, I can't say enough about that guy. Everybody asked me the best player I ever saw, and I don't think it's close. It's Barry Bonds for me.
And I think it's cool, too, that you bring up Boston, since that was your first major league strikeout, right?
Yeah.
Dwight Evans, and got a chance to face Boggs in that first game.
Yeah, Dwight Evans, unbelievable for a first strikeout. Dwight Evans is a pretty cool one. For a first home run, Jim Rice grand slam in the 4th inning was not the greatest things to ever happen to me, but it's all I gave up. I pitched 7 pretty good innings, and I should have thrown him a fastball, and I should have thrown him a high fastball. I threw him a slider, and he hit it about I think half a mile. They said it went. I don't know. It Ubered back to the park later on. So, but you know, it was just happening. It's funny story about that. After the game, Jim Palmer, who never gave up Jim Palmer never gave up a grand slam in his career, and Jim Palmer was super to me when I was a young pitcher. He was great. He'd come to me, he'd talk to me all the time. I can't say enough. He really helped me. We were similar. I mean, I wasn't as good as Jim Palmer. I don't want to come off like that, but similar stuff, similar approach to the game. You know, we went after everybody, high fastball, breaking ball down. And he took it upon himself to help me out. But he said, man, way to go, kid. It only took you 4 innings to give up a grand slam. I pitched, I don't know, he told me whatever. Jim Palmer wasn't afraid to tell you how great he was either, but super guy. He was awesome to me. And he's like, I think I pitched 4,000 innings and never gave one up. It took you 4 innings. I'm like, thanks a lot, man. Beat it. So
we definitely think that you're great. I mean, 24 complete games in your major league career. They just don't make them like you anymore. And we wanted to thank you for taking some time to talk with us about your career and about your son and about playing baseball here in the Bronx.
Yeah, I really appreciate it. It was a major part of my life playing baseball in the Bronx, and it shaped who I was and shaped my career.
Thanks so much, Pete.
No problem. Thank you.
Welcome back, everybody. I'm the Dr. Bob Lee from 107.5 WBLS and, of course, BronxNet. And we are inside of a wonderful show. And our next guests are here. We got the executive director and the head coach of the Sportsgroup, City Divas, the softball team, and the NYPD officer, former City Divas player and current member of the NYPD softball team. They're here today. They're going to speak about a recent softball game between the City Divas and the NYPD. He said it was all that in a bag of chips. I threw that part in there. But please welcome to the show, Derrick Brown and Kaminie Jeeuth. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you for having us.
All right, so wait a minute. You guys played this softball. Who won? I'm jumping right into it. Who won this game? Say it again.
I'll let KJ take that one, ladies first.
NYPD won, but it was a very close game.
Yeah. All right, so tell us about it. I mean, of course, it was for a good cause, and it's always fun to come together with the community and do things. You know, I'm reminded of Harmony Day with the police department and National Night Out and all the wonderful things that we've been doing over the years. But tell us how you put this together and how what you want to do, what you want the public to know about what you're doing.
The NYPD women's softball team is newly formed, And one of our biggest things is giving back. So I reached out to Derrick as a former diva. And Derrick said, let's do this. We've been trying to do this for like the last 5 years. And it was definitely an overwhelming feeling to know that we were able to do it and accomplish it and give back to those young girls and have them see we were in their positions many years ago.
So Derrick, how did you feel when you got that call?
This was just something that we knew had to happen. Our program has been around for about 22 years now. And I met KJ probably when she was 15 or 16 or so. And that relationship just blossomed and grew from there. So when she went on to her other career aspirations, it was just a fit for us to do this for the young ladies, that a program that she's benefited from and where she can give back. It was just nice to do.
And now we know it's KJ. That's what they call you on the team also?
Yeah, those are my initials, yeah.
Good. And so you play these games. How does our community get more involved in what you're doing?
Yeah, like I said before, like we've been around a long time in the Bronx.
Yeah.
Our program generates from the Bronx, and we're all over. We have fields all over. We have a website. The community generally hears about us. We play games throughout the city, and we generally get a lot of calls and inquiries about when we're registering and what we're about. And this is foremost about with the young girls. It's about academics, creating some opportunities through sports that will enlighten them to see the best things about academics and becoming better people.
Kaminie, you can jump on that.
Speaking from personal experience, just to piggyback off what he said, creating opportunities. It was through softball I was able to get a full Division I scholarship to further my studies to play softball, and at the same time, I don't have to worry about paying for school.
See that?
You know.
So all you have to do is have the skills, right?
The skills and the work ethic.
Yeah.
So what do you tell other youngsters or people who want to get involved in what you're doing? Tell them about what they need and what it takes to get there.
Well, really, it's twofold. It's really about trying to be a good person first, a good teammate, and then a good student after that. And if you can put those two together, we feel that you have the opportunity to be a successful human being. You know, I really believe in our system in teaching the game of softball, but becoming a great softball player is just a side piece of what we try to do. We want to make good people, we want to make good students, and we want to just make sure that the community is proud of what we're putting out there.
So the discipline has to be there, right? Or you teach the discipline. And of course, you talk about the importance of getting a good education, staying in school. How does one qualify to become a part of your program?
It starts off with a registration process. That's the easy part. Then once you allow us into your life, then it's about us monitoring you and you monitoring yourself. We hold you accountable to both your academics and being a good teammate. And once you understand the culture, then there's nothing but success for you, because now you know that you are now a part of a team that you have to be accountable for. You have to be accountable for yourself, to your academics. So those two put together, it's just a recipe for success.
Kaminie, how does being on this team help you in the team that you're on now?
Definitely has a strong contribution to the person I am today. I learned leadership, teamwork, family. There's so many things that being part of the Diva organization has done for me and has helped mold not only myself, but there's quite a few police officers also on the job who were City Divas and other ladies that are from the organization to go on bigger and better and to also give back.
That's what's up. All right, so tell us about the game. What went on? Who did what? Give us some stats, Derrick.
Our police officer friends, they came out hot. They that first two innings,
They're on it, huh?
5 runs on the board on us, man. Like I said, I think I had a little private conversation with them to kind of, don't take it easy on them a little bit now. But yeah, they came out hot and they can really play. I mean, I think that it was a delight for myself to see our alumni, like KJ alluded to. We have maybe about 6 or 7 former Divas who are now part of the NYPD female softball team. See them still playing the game that they love. That just made me feel so good as a coach to see them at 12, 15, 17 years old. Now they're well into their 20s. I don't want to hit anybody, but they're older now. And to see them still playing that game, that's just a testament of
Kaminie's she's in her 20s. You said it right.
Thanks.
But you had fun. All in all, it was fun. People got together, mixed and mingled, and I think we need to see more like this.
We plan on trying to do another game in the summer if we can make it happen and make it a part of our annual Diva Day. We do a Diva Day every year around August, and we want to probably make this type of activity part of our Diva Day because it was a blast and it was a big turnout and everyone enjoyed it. And just see the camaraderie between our young girls and the female officers, that was just a strong bond. Me as a coach, I'm a male, it was nothing stronger than seeing other females that they can kind of see to look at that mentorship and things of that nature. It was just a great time.
Yeah, and then, basically when you look down at it and when it's all said and done, that's what it's all about, the camaraderie and the getting together and people learning from one another and having fun in the community.
Yeah.
So you let us know about this big Diva Day that's coming up because we want to help promote it and talk more about it, okay?
Thank you. I will.
Denise doesn't mind. She wants you to talk more about it and get more people involved.
I appreciate that.
All right. Where can we go for more information?
Oh, we have several sites. We have the hashtag City Divas Softball. We're at City Divas Fast Pitch. And we also have a website, urbansportsgroup.leagueapps.com.
Thank you guys so much, Derrick. And our girl right there, look, Kaminie. She's only in her 20s. I'm not gonna mess with you anymore. But we appreciate you. We love you. And thanks for coming on. And you're always welcome to come back. Okay.
Thanks for having me.
All right. Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Tell Denise we said thank her for her service too. That we thank her.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Unfortunately, that's all the time we have for today's show. And I want to thank you, our guests, for joining us and you, our viewers, for tuning in and checking it all out. You can tune in and continue to follow us on BronxNet TV for continued coverage. Thank you for letting us share in this space and time with you. And always remember this, what you are is God's gift to you. What you make of yourself is your gift to God. To choose your choice, let your choice control the chooser. For all of us here at BronxNet, have a great and enjoyable day. And I'll see you over 107.5 WVLS. I love you all. Peace.